Welcome back to another episode of the Evolving Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today I want to talk about going back to the drawing board. So if you've ever seen the movie Saving Mr. Banks, it's a great movie about Walt Disney's journey as an animator and creating Mickey Mouse. So like before he was successful with creating Mickey Mouse. Watching the movie, it gives you just a small glimpse of all of the adversity that he went through before he created the success of Mickey Mouse. So Walt Disney launched his first animation studio in 1922. Literally went bankrupt a year later. So you're like, okay, maybe he took a little break. No, literally in 23, the same year, he opens the Walt Disney Company with his brother, right? He did not create Mickey Mouse until 1928. 5 whole years after he created the Disney Company and after he had already gone bankrupt with his first animation studio. Can you imagine that? 5 years. He already had his first quote unquote failure with the first company, but then it still took him 5 years to even create a hit. He was showing up for 5 years consistently going back to the drawing board, consistently trying new things. And that story is so common. Pretty much everything that you see, every business, every great idea that you see happened because that person was willing to go back to the drawing board over and over and over again. They trusted that their vision was worth something. It was worth something to them, even if no one else could understand why they were doing what they were doing. They knew that they were creating something meaningful. They knew that they were creating something that was going to change lives. There's a quote, hold the vision, trust the process. And I feel like that is so relevant to anyone that has a dream that they're working towards. You have to hold the vision in your mind and be devoted to the process. You have to trust the process of the wins that you're going to have along the way, the process of the failures and going back to the drawing board. And understanding that when you go back to the drawing board, it's not a defeat. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you stop. It means that you reevaluate. Another thing that's cool with the Walt Disney story is that there was actually another cartoon that he created right before Mickey Mouse, like the year before. And it actually was pretty successful. But whenever he tried to expand on it, he found out that he didn't have the rights. So he literally couldn't do anything with it. But think about that. If that were you in that situation, would you have just given up? I'm sure there was probably a moment where he felt like that. But instead, he went back to the drawing board. And the following year, he literally created Mickey Mouse. And we all know how big Mickey Mouse is. He literally has a whole theme park. Worldwide. He impacted multiple generations because he went back to the drawing board after a failure, after being disappointed, after being hurt and let down, after putting his heart and soul into the thing right before it, only for his dreams to be crushed, So maybe you are in a season of life where you feel like your dreams have been crushed. Maybe you have put in years of time and effort and energy into something and you feel like it's going nowhere, but you could be just one drawing board session away from your biggest breakthrough that is literally going to change the trajectory of your life. So going back to the drawing board is not a failure. It's a learning opportunity. It's a chance for you to evolve and for you to grow and for you to be inspired. So if you find yourself in that season where you want to give up, or if you find yourself in a season where you are back at your drawing board for what seems like the 100th time, just remember that good things take time. They not only take time, but they take perseverance. Good things do not just happen overnight. Hold the vision, trust the process. I believe in you, I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see the great things that you do. Talk to you next time. Bye.